Hello to my flamazing Franklin Academy artist. Welcome to Art with Miss P. You may have noticed I have a new backdrop since our last recording. It's a really interesting thing. It is a combination of Vincent van Gogh's Starry, Starry Night. You can see some of the Starry, Starry Night swirls from the sky right here. And Japanese artist Hokusai's Great Wave. So right here is the big Great Wave. So they took two very famous paintings and kind of combined them into one. And I thought that it would make a great backdrop for our art recordings. So I'm kind of excited about it. So let's talk about this week's lesson. This week's lesson is going to be all about the season change. Over Track Out, we transitioned from our summer season into our fall or autumn season. How do we know it's fall? Well, Mother Nature sends us lots of messages to let us know. You may have noticed that the temperatures are cooling off and you're having to wear long sleeves or a sweatshirt or a jacket. You may have also noticed that it's getting darker earlier. That's because our daylight is getting shorter, so our daytime is getting a little bit shorter this time of year. You may have also noticed the biggest change is in our trees. Our trees from going from green in the summertime to this beautiful, vibrant, warm colors of reds and oranges and yellows and golds and even some of those deep red purples. That's Mother Nature's way of painting the beautiful trees during the fall. Eventually, they will turn brown and fall to the ground. Maybe that's why they call the autumn season fall. So our projects for this week are going to be based on a fall tree. So let's take a look at the project that you're going to be doing for this week. Okay, so for my flamazing kindergarten artist, you guys are going to learn how to draw a tree this week, and you're also going to be coloring some leaves using those beautiful fall warm colors that we're beginning to see. So think of yellows, yellow oranges, golds, orange, reds, red oranges, red violets. So when you're looking at your crayons, pull out those beautiful warm colors and set them to the side because those are the only colors you're going to use for your fall leaves. And of course, you're going to want to do your sky blue and your grass green. So here's an example of what we did in the classroom right here. We drew a really big tree. Now, the paper that we used in the classroom is pretty big. You might not have this big of a paper at home, and that's okay. Just use what you have at home. But we drew a tree trunk with some tree limbs coming off of it. And of course, we're going to color our tree brown because that's the color of a tree trunk and tree limbs. We colored our background a beautiful blue because we want a nice blue sky in the background. Really makes those warm colors of our leaves pop. Down here, we used green for our grass because our grass is still green right now. And then you're going to have a sheet of leaves that are blank like this. And your parents can print this off for you. So you're going to color these blank leaves all different colors of warm colors. So that means you're going to choose those yellows and yellow oranges and golds and red oranges and red violets, those beautiful warm fall colors. And you're going to color your leaves. You can mix colors on your leaves, so you can mix like red and yellow right here, and then I mixed orange and yellow on this one and red and orange on this one, so you can mix those colors on your leaves. After you color your leaves, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut your leaves out very carefully because we want to stay on the dotted line and do a great job in cutting our leaves out. And then you're going to glue them onto your tree. You can even have a leaf maybe falling off of your tree or even laying on the ground because we're seeing some of these leaves fall off now. So that is your project for this week. So what you're going to need is your white paper, your pencil and eraser, your crayons, a pair of scissors, and a glue stick, and then have your parents print this off for you so you can color your leaves. So grab those materials, friends, and meet me over in my studio and we'll get started on our fall tree. Hello to my Flamazing artist and welcome to Art with Miss P. So here is your lesson for this week. It is going to be a fall tree that we're going to draw and color with our crayons. And so you need your pencil, eraser, and then your white piece of paper. And then we are going to color and cut these leaves out. So hopefully your parents have been able to print this for you, and you are going to use your crayons to color them like these examples right here, using those beautiful fall colors, which are our warm colors, which are your yellows, your oranges, your reds, red oranges, yellow oranges, and your red violets. So when you get ready to color these, pull those warm colors out of your crayon box and put them off to the side so you know exactly what colors to use when coloring these fall leaves. So the first thing we're going to do is draw our tree. So you want to get your white piece of paper. Now I'm using a big piece of paper. That's what we used in the classroom. If you don't have a big piece of paper, then just use a piece of paper this size right here. So that will be fine. All right, so we've got our pencil and let's get ready to draw. At the top of your paper, all the way up here at the top, you are going to draw 2 parallel vertical lines. So starting at the top, you're going to draw a line all the way down to about right here. Not quite all the way to the bottom, so you're going to stop about right there. And it's a nice long vertical line from the top of your paper all the way down. Then you're going to jump over, give it some space between here, and you're going to draw another line right beside it that is the same size and same length. So you're drawing 2 parallel lines like we did right here. This is going to be our tree trunk, and it comes down to right here. You don't want to go all the way to the bottom of the paper, but this is going to be the end of our tree trunk, and this is where it's going to meet the grass. So if you want to come in and put a little line out to the side, you can even put a line like this if you want to, so you know where the end of your tree is. All right, now let's put what we call the arms of the tree on. Those are our tree limbs. Trees have lots of tree limbs and little branches that come off those tree limbs. So we're going to draw a couple of tree limbs in here, and they're going to be done the same way with parallel lines. Remember, parallel lines are 2 lines that run side by side, but they never touch. So we're going to come up here to the top, and we're going to draw a diagonal line from our tree trunk all the way off of our paper. And then we're going to come right beside it, and we're going to draw a line that matches it. Look at these 2 lines. They are in the same direction, but they do not touch, and they are parallel. So make sure you've got space between these lines right here. You do not want them to touch. Then we're going to come over here, and we're going to draw 2 more parallel lines coming off of our tree trunk and going off the edge of our paper. And let's do one right here. So now we've got those 2 lines. So we've got 3 tree limbs. If you want to put 4 tree limbs on your tree, that's fine. But for this project, I'm just going to do these 3 right here. All right, so now we need to come in. Where our tree limbs meet our tree trunk, we're going to erase this little line right here. So you want to get your eraser or use the eraser that's on your pencil, and you want to erase just that line. So it looks like your tree trunk comes in and it connects to your tree limb, connects to your tree trunk. So you want to erase that little short line right there where your tree limb meets your tree trunk. Now remember, if I go too fast for you, the great thing about a video is you can hit the pause button and pause it while you catch up with me. If you need to rewind it so you can see my instructions or hear my instructions again, you can do that too. So we've got our tree trunk with our tree limbs. Now let's come right down here where my fingers are, and we're going to make what's called a horizon line. So we're going to draw a line from our tree trunk all the way out to the edge of our paper. And then we're going to jump over here and draw another line from the edge of our tree trunk all the way out to our paper. So our horizon line looks like a line that goes right here, then it disappears behind our tree so we don't see it, and then it picks back up right there. What this line is, it shows you where your sky meets your ground. So this is what's called the horizon line, where the sky and the ground meet. So we know everything from this line all the way up to the top is our sky. So we're going to color it blue. Everything from this line all the way down is our grass, and we're going to color it green. So now you are ready to start coloring your tree. So just like the example right here, you're going to color your tree brown. If you want to use a black Sharpie or your black crayon and put a little squirrel hole in your tree, or maybe some little marks on your tree for texture, that's great. You can do that, but you don't have to. It's up to you. So color your tree first. I want you to color your entire tree trunk and all your tree limbs brown. That way, it's going to help you see the sky. Because when you color your sky, you're going to color from your tree trunk all the way over to the edge of your paper, and you're going to color in between your tree limbs. Like on this example right here, this space up here would be blue. So would this space and that space. So you want to make sure you get your whole sky colored blue. And coloring your tree trunk brown first helps you see the sky. And then down here, you're going to color everything from this horizon line all the way to the bottom of your paper, to the edge of your paper, all the way over to your brown tree trunk green. And I want you to take your time and color. You don't want any spaghetti coloring. You don't want to leave any white space either. So make sure you color all of your shapes, all colored. When you finish your tree, I want you to get your leaf sheet out. And I want you to color your leaves like I did these examples right here, using those beautiful fall colors. You can mix your colors like I did here. I mixed orange and yellow. I mixed yellow and orange right here. I mixed some red and yellow right here. Or you can just color them all red, all orange, or all yellow. The choice is yours. Then you're going to get your scissors, and then you're going to use your scissors, and you're going to very carefully cut around the edge of your leaves. And then you're going to use your glue stick or your glue, and you're going to paste them down onto your fall tree. Now, just a reminder, friends, on scissors, we want to make sure we hold our scissors correctly. In the little hole, this is where your thumb goes. In the bigger hole is where your fingers go. And we always hold the scissors away from our body. You don't want to ever turn like this right here, because not only is it uncomfortable on your wrist, but when you're cutting, you can actually cut yourself and hurt yourself. So the scissors always face away from us. Your thumb goes in the little hole, your fingers go in the big hole, and you move your thumb up and down. We don't use the tip of our scissors to cut. We cut right here. So you want to take your paper and bring it all the way into right here. Not right here, right here. And you want to cut along this dotted line. And if you look, I'm turning my paper, but I'm not turning my scissors. I keep my scissors away from me, always facing away from me. And I am turning my paper so that I don't have to turn my scissors. I don't want to see you guys turn your scissors like this right here and start cutting. That's something that you commonly do in kindergarten, and we want to not do that. We want to learn how to hold our scissors correctly and cut, just like I'm doing right here. And I'm turning my paper, and then I cut my leaf out. Now, of course, you're going to have your leaves colored before you cut yours out. Now, you're going to notice that your hand is going to get very tired from all this coloring and all this cutting today. But that's okay, friends. We're building up those art muscles in our hands. And eventually, you're going to be able to color like this very quickly, and your hand is not going to get tired. And you're going to be able to use these scissors and cut, and your hand will not get tired. You got to build up those art muscles. So I hope you enjoy learning how to draw a tree and doing your beautiful fall leaves. And I look forward to seeing your artwork. So have your parents upload it to our Google Classroom. And until next time, peace, love, and sparkles from Miss P.